Hi guys, welcome back to DR Sports for your midweek roundup with myself, AGT, out here in Box Park, Liverpool. The main headlines to take away tonight: Liverpool drop points, Chelsea drop points, and Manchester City drop points. And Graham Potter gets his first 3 points in charge of West Ham at home to Fulham. We'll start off with Liverpool, seeing as I'm here. Do you know what? It was actually a really bright start in the first 7 minutes. If you remember, Liverpool had 3 shots on target. And at that point, you're thinking, right, we've quietened down the crowd, we're taking control. I think the possession in the first 10 minutes was 66%, 2/3. You have that all day away in the Premier League. But Liverpool, after those 3 shots, had nothing to offer in the first half. It was poor touches from Mo Salah, it was wayward shots from Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. It was just a lack of clinicalness. That cutting edge wasn't there. What really sums that up is Luis Diaz, when he was running through in the first half after Liverpool were 1-0 down. He doesn't play that incisive pass earlier to Cody Gakpo, and that let us down tonight. But you have to give credit to Nottingham Forest. What a footballing team. I don't care what any Tottenham fan says, Nuno Espirito Santo is a proper football manager. The changes that he made, fantastic, really intelligent. And actually, like I said, after Liverpool's early flurry of 3 shots on away from target, but 3 shots, you're applying that pressure. All it takes is a big lump up top. It gets knocked down. Mo Salah almost backs away in the tackle. They get the ball. Quickly it goes to, I think it was Elanga, he plays Wood in, and it is a world-class finish. That is the kind of finish that you score when you're on form in the Premier League. That is the clinicalness that you need to be a top striker in the Premier League. That's 13 goals in 18 now for Chris Wood. Who would have thought that, guys, at the start of the season? And that is why Nottingham Forest deserve where they are, where, you know, they deserve to be where they are right now, because I don't care what anyone says. If you've got Elanga, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White and Chris Wood running against you, you're going to concede chances. They're so quick on the counter-attack. They're clinical as well. And like I said, they're in third or second for a reason, because they are clinical and they're direct. They've got really firm back 5 in Mario Milenkovic. I thought Matt Sells was potentially the man of the match tonight, with 4 brilliant saves in the second half to keep them in it. But Nottingham Forest ain't a joke. They're here to stay, and they are title challengers. Let us know in the comments, do you agree with that? I don't think it's doubtable at the minute because of what we're seeing. The evidence is week on week. They've won 7 in a row apart from tonight. So listen, it was almost as if the 70s and 80s were back with the intensity of this game. Let's not forget, late 70s, early 80s, all the way through to the late 80s, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest were the best 2 teams in England. 2 European Cups for Forest in that period, 4 for Liverpool. In terms of English teams, maybe chuck Aston Villa in there as well. They were the teams, and it was a real throwback. I said in the COP TV, it was maybe the most important game, most physical, up for it, on the line, most on the line game since Hillsborough in 1989. I think these teams replicate that kind of old school winners mentality of we keep going until the final whistle, and that's what happened tonight. It was a 1-1 draw, which is probably a fair result in the end, but it was all Forest in that first half. Yes, they didn't create a bucket load of chances, but they don't mind that. If it's 66% possession to the other team, they don't mind that. As long as with their 33% possession, they're clinical, and they are. So I don't think Nottingham Forest even mind not having the ball that much, because they know that when they do, they've got outlets here, 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 and here. And they're all about you. They don't give you a second to breathe. So Forest are a proper team. I have to respect them and big them up tonight. I thought they set up brilliantly. Listen, they might not play like that every week. They were playing against the top of the league tonight. You understand why they're a little bit more defensive, but shout them out. I thought so well organised. The midfield isn't littered with superstars. You've got Elliott and Yates. Listen, they're not world beaters, but what they will do is get amongst it and make sure that there's not 1 second to breathe if you're on the ball in that midfield, and link that in with Murillo and Milenkovic in the spine. The goalie, Matt Sells, who had a great game. They've got a proper team there. And yes, we mocked them. We laughed at them for signing 25 odd players, maybe even 30 a couple of windows ago. But look how they're gelling. Look how balanced it is now. And you have to give credit to Nuno Espirito Santo for sure. Second half comes around, Liverpool void of ideas again. And it really wasn't until Arne Slot had a masterstroke. And he got the subs right today. He didn't last week, but he got the subs spot on today. To bring on Tsimikas and Jota, and for them to assist and score, both of them in the first 22 seconds of coming on. That has to be a Premier League record. I'm sorry. And do you know what? The old adage is in football, you never make a sub when there's a cross or a corner or a free kick. But we did it. Great ball in from Tsimikas. What a buzz that is. You come on the pitch, 20 seconds later, you've got an assist. That's crazy. And it's a really good header from Jota. Sometimes those headers can be difficult because you assume the centre-back's going to head it away. It went over Murillo, and Jota was there, ready, alert, pounced on it. Really good flick on. So at 1-0, you're thinking, right, let's go for it now. We can do this. But listen, Matt Sells pulled off 4 great saves. Mo Salah's touch was lethargic tonight. Cody Gakpo unlucky at the end, could have slipped in after a deflection. Jota could have had a hat-trick after 10 minutes. But Liverpool, we got to hold this one. And listen, it's not the worst result in the world when you look at the context of the game, when you look at how good Forest have been. It's not the worst result in the world, knowing that Chelsea dropped points, Man City dropped points as well. And we'll speak about that in a sec. But it's a frustrating one nonetheless. I do cringe at the result a little bit because I think with the chances that we had towards the end, you've got to be a bit more decisive. A couple of times when Szoboszlai's gone to cross it across the goal, you just got to drill it. Goal. Try and get it across the keeper. It's a slippy surface. So credit to Nottingham Forest. They're brilliant. And they have been most of the season. They've not lost against Liverpool now in 2 games. But I think Liverpool and Arne Slot in particular, after harbouring the pain of that defeat back in September, he's going to be really critical that we didn't finish that game off tonight. And on another day we do, but it wasn't to be for Liverpool tonight. But that was helped a bit. It was soothed a little bit by the score at Brentford. Not too much. I don't want them to get too ahead themselves because Liverpool have to go there on Saturday now. But Brentford, fair play to them. 2-2 against Man City, coming back from 2-0 down. That's a mad result. Brilliant. Norgard with the last-minute equaliser. And that's a big one. That's a real kick in the teeth for Man City. I think at 2-0 up, you're expecting them to go on and cruise the game. But again, it's the Man City of this season. It's not the season before, not the season before that. This season's Man City concede goals. We've got to get used to it. And Liverpool stay, I think it's around about 12 points ahead of Man City after that game, with a game in hand as well. Maybe it's 11 points, but yeah, City obviously slipped up tonight. And Chelsea, hold that Matisse, you absolute sausage. The earring curse continues, yeah? Ever since Matisse got that glistening earring on his left ear, yeah? They haven't won a game in the Premier League. It's been 5 games now, so hold that, you sausage. I will see you on Thursday, you melt. Anyway, Brentford, not Brentford, we've already praised them. Bournemouth, wow, the cherries are on smoke. 2 goals away at the Bridge. They get the result that they're after, which probably was a draw and not a win, but they were seconds away from getting that win. So big up to them for fighting it out. And, you know, what a job Areola is doing in the South Coast there at Bournemouth. They seem to have no fear, whoever they play against. And Chelsea, after Matisse said it would be an absolute travesty if they didn't win this game, it was a must-win, we heard. Wasn't good enough tonight from the Chelsea. To hold that Man City, hold that Chelsea as well. And the last score was, in fact, West Ham. And I'm actually quite happy for Graham Potter to win his first game as West Ham manager. Let's have a look at the goal scorers tonight. Carlos Soler, I'm hearing it was a world-class finish as well, by the way, after 31 minutes. Why is it in football that you score a goal and then you score another goal straight away, or you concede a goal straight away? 2 minutes after that, Thomas Souček with the goal. Second half, Iwobi comes back, but then Lucas Paqueta almost plays the game out of sight, and Iwobi gets another consolation, 78th minute. They were unlucky not to get an equaliser. But if you look at the table right now after these games, Liverpool 47 points after 20 games, Forest 41 points after 21 games. Now Arsenal have got to move above Forest, let alone catching Liverpool. Arsenal have now got to go back above Forest. The pressure's on them now. They're on 40 points. Chelsea on 37. They stay where they are. Liverpool 12 points now ahead of Man City. 29 goals conceded and 38 scored. When have we seen numbers like that from City? And Brentford got up to 10th with that point as well. So it was a pretty wild midweek in the Premier League. And don't forget, there's still games tomorrow night. But it was Cole Palmer and Reece James with the last gasp equaliser for the Chelsea. But tomorrow night, I don't know if anyone's heard, there's a North London derby to be played. And if you're a Liverpool fan, you're hoping Tottenham can do you a favour. and make sure that Arsenal keep on dropping points. But if you're an Arsenal fan, a chance to win the game in the derby at home and go within 4 points of Liverpool. Obviously, they still do have that game in hand, but 4 points is nothing, as we know. So Arsenal, this time tomorrow night, could be buoyed or they could be deflated. They could all be saying Arteta out. That's your Tuesday night roundup on the DR Sports channel. It's a great show on Monday. Make sure you go back and watch that if you haven't already. Don't forget, we'll be back on Thursday with the weekend preview. Big Premier League games to come. But yeah, crazy night. Boxing match that between Liverpool and Forest. A real throwback to the 70s and 80s. And anyone could have had it in the end. But listen, smash that like button, get your comments in. What did you think of the games tonight? And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. From Box Park, Liverpool, in the fog. Take care.